Parayana of the sixth day. The countless stars that twinkle at night are some thousand times bigger than the earth. Scientists say that the universe, which contains all the billions of stars and the smallest creatures, are made out of the elemental atoms. These minute atoms originate from one energy field, which is all our Asian sees say that energy which is all pervading is consciousness and that consciousness is God. This consciousness changes itself out of its own will and manifests as this world and the creature's jiva. In other words, both the universe and jiva are born out of the supreme consciousness. The friction in the ocean makes the waves dash against one another and drops of water soar high and appear as separate drops of water. Similarly, the Supreme Consciousness, out of its own friction or sankalp, has taken the form of all these creatures. But there is one difference. The drops of water, after some time, automatically get merged in the sea. But the creatures do not merge into God automatically. Man who has come out of the Lord tries to maintain a separate entity. So he creates the mind and lives apart from God. He does not desire to become one with God because he has forgotten that he is a part of that Supreme Lord. He brings a curtain mind between himself and God, leads his life according to his own likes and dislikes, performs action in the form of joy and sorrow. Thus, he is caught in the cycle of birth and death. At one age, unable to bear the trail of the life, he seeks a way out. In that attempt, he learns the nature of God and his own nature through holy men. Then he yearns for liberalization from sorrow and union with God. O Lord, sigh, we are also more or less in similar circumstances. We surrender to you, remove our sorrow, make us one with you, and save us. B.B. Dev, a Tahsildar at Dahanu, was a devotee of Sai. He arranged a Udyapan concluding ceremony for the religious vows observed by his mother. He wrote a letter to Sai inviting him to grace the function. Sai asked Jog, another devotee, to give a reply. Sai said, I never forget those who remember me. I shall attend the function along with two persons on the day of the ceremony. A sannyasi got down from a donga along with two lads and said that he had come for meals. They invited them politely and they left after taking food. After the function was over, Dev wrote a letter to Jog saying that Baba had not graced his function. Sai said, I told him that I came along with two people, but he failed to recognize me. On hearing this, they felt sorry for blaming Sai. He was overwhelmed with the joy for the grace showered on him and his family by Sai. One day, Sai appeared in a dream to Hemant Pant in the early hours of the morning and told him that he could come to his house for meals that day. As it was the holiday, Hemant Pant completed the holy worship. Two rows were arranged for serving meals to friends and relatives. A central seat was arranged for Sai. The food was served and the Hemant Pant was waiting for the arrival of Sai. At the exact time, two people by name Ali Muhammad and Maulana Ismo Mujawar came there and gave him a beautiful portrait of Sai. Hemant Pant was very happy. He placed the picture on the seat, offered Naivedya and bowed to Baba. Sai fulfilled his promise which he made to Hemant Pant in his manner. Sri Sai Baba used to go to some houses every day for food. He ate only a little of that food. Sometimes when he wanted to give food to the people, he himself went to the bazaar and brought wheat flour, rice and spices. He lighted the hearth in front of the masjid, placed a big vessel, cooked food, offered it first to God and then fed the poor people. One day Nana Sahib Chandokar was massaging the feet of Baba, reciting the slogan Tadviti Paripatena Pariprasanneva Sevaya Tatvya Darshan in a loud voice. Baba asked him to explain the meaning of the sloka word by word. Nana failed to give the correct meaning for many words of the sloka. Pata, Pranipata, Prasanna, Seva, Jnana, etc. and requested Sai to explain to him the sloka. Then Sai said to acquire knowledge, it is necessary to approach the great saints who are in that state. It is not enough if you prostrate before them. You should surrender yourself completely to them. You should not question them with idle curiosity or an improper motive. The question must be asked with an earnest desire to achieve spiritual progress. You should always remember that the body itself is Guru and exists only to render service to the Guru. The Guru does not give gyan or knowledge, he only removes the ignorance inherited from innumerable past birth. Then what remains is only pure gyan knowledge. One day Sri Sai appeared to Bhuti and Shama in a dream at the same time and told them, build a mandir, I shall stay there and fulfill the desires of all people. Bhuti built the mandir at the behest of Sai and the advice of Shama. In course of time, the same mandir became the Samadhi Mandir in the year 1916 on Vijayadashami day. Baba, in a voice filled with emotion, said again and again, today is my Simo Lagan. In 1918, Ramachandra Patel, a devotee of Sai, became seriously ill, losing all hope of recovery. He prayed to Sai. Sai appeared to him and said, don't be anxious. Your death warrant has been withdrawn. You will soon recover. But I am afraid of Tatya. He will pass away on Vijayadashami. Do not disturb this to anyone. Patil told Bala Shimpe about this. Ramchandra Patel soon got well, but Baba got a slight fever on 28th September. The fever lasted for 3 days. Then Sai made Vaji read Rama Vijayam to him. At the time one day, the brick on which Baba used to rest his hand slipped from the hand of a boy and was broken to pieces. Sai was very unhappy at this and said, this is my life companion and it has left me today. When Vijayadashami was 3 days away, Sai stopped going for his daily rounds of begging for food. A few days before Vijayadashami, Tatya fell sick and was bedridden. Vijayadashami came, Tatya's pulse became weak and all thought that his end was near. But to the surprise of all, Tatya's health improved by afternoon and Sai's condition began to worst. Sai left the body at 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday, the 15th of October 1918. Sai's physical body was laid to rest in the big mandir built by Bhuti. Tatya recovered very soon. All people thought that Baba gave up his life to save the life of Tatya. Sai appeared in a dream to Lakshman Mama Joshi in the early hours of Wednesday morning and said, get up soon, Jog. Thinks I am dead. Come to the masjid and perform puja and Aarti. He did accordingly. Again Baba appeared to Dasganu at Pandaripur in his dream on 16th October and said, the masjid collapsed. I have left the place. Go there quickly and cover me with flowers. Dasganu come to Shirdi along with his discipline, covered the Samadhi with flowers, sung kirtans and fed rice to the poor people. Years before this Mahasamadhi, that is in 1886 AD, on Margasya Purnima day, Sri Sai called Malsapati and said, I am leaving this body, protect it for 3 days. If I return, it will be alright. If I do not, bury my body in the open place in front of the masjid and fix 2 flags there as a mark. Baba left his body at 10 p.m. on that day. His breathing and pulse stopped. All people came there and decided that Sai had left his body and so it should be buried. But Malsapati objected to that. He placed Sai's body on his lap and sat for 3 days gardening it. In the early hours of the morning of the 3rd day at about 3 a.m., Sai showed sign of life. He opened his eyes, stretched his limbs and sat up. Sai is above the cycle of the birth and death. Sri Samartha Satguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai Baba, I place my head at your feet and seek your protection. I have completed the Parayan of the 6th day. By your grace, please bless me with long life, health, wealth, peace, joy and unfailing devotion to you.